In Great Britain, many industries are lacking staff due to Corona and Brexit. Truck stop, shelves in supermarkets are empty and the fields are not harvested. Construction companies are desperately looking for locksmiths and joiners. Supermarket chains offer potential truck drivers 4-digit welcome money. Fruit and vegetable farmers are missing thousands of harvest workers. In many industries in the UK, firms and dealers are struggling with severe staff shortages. For most of those affected, the reason is clear. 7 months after the final exit from the EU, the consequences of Brexit are becoming increasingly apparent. In many cities in the north of England and the Midlands, less so in the capital London, supermarket shelves often remain empty. Often there is a lack of fresh fruit and vegetables. What was still blamed on the oversensitive COVID app of the National Health System NHS in mid-July, which unnecessarily condemned many infected contacts to 10 days of isolation, turns out to be a permanent problem. Since the beginning of the year, there has been a lack of qualified truckers on the island. According to the industry association RHA, around 600,000 people have been behind the wheel for the transport of goods in recent years. Around a sixth of these are now missing. On the one hand, this is due to the lack of local offspring. Corona ensured that the exams for truck driving licenses were cancelled for months. But the RHA points out above all the exodus of the trucks from the continent. A limited return to the previous free movement of workers, as demanded by freight forwarders, was rejected by the Conservative Brexit government under Prime Minister Boris Johnson. The operators of small grocery stores are already putting themselves behind the wheel to stock up on goods from wholesalers. At the weekend we ran out of bread and milk, reports Paul Junge, head of a small Nice's supermarket in Coventry in central England. Such bottlenecks are poison for the 24-hour shops, which justify their slightly higher prices with constant availability. We need full shelves, says Junge. Everywhere those affected complain about the perfect storm, that is, the worst possible chain of unfortunate circumstances. It's difficult for experts and attentive media such as the Financial Times to quantify which parts are due to Brexit and which are due to the corona pandemic. At least the statistics give clear indications. In the construction industry, the number of skilled workers from EU countries across the country fell by more than half in the 4 years up to March 2021, and in London by as much as 63%. Hundreds of thousands of EU citizens living in the UK have returned home since the referendum in June 2016. Since January, recruiting carpenters and electricians at short notice has been associated with paperwork and high costs of around £10,000 per employee. Many fruit and vegetable farmers also complain of massively higher costs. In the county of Kent, the traditional garden of England, now Farage Garage, some companies lack 90% of the harvest workers they need, pretty much the same proportion that people from Romania and Bulgaria had previously done. They used to receive up to 20 applications from harvest workers a day. This summer, an average of 2 would arrive per day, complains Stephen Taylor of Winterwood Farms in Maidstone, the largest blueberry grower in Europe. We have our backs to the wall, he says. Even those who come to the island for a few weeks with the help of the new work visas do not solve the problem. According to Tom Bradshaw, deputy chief of the Farmers Union, significantly less proven workers will be returning to their workplace this summer. In previous years, it was 2/3, this time only a third. And what's the result? Longer training times, lower productivity. Fruits and lettuce are already rotting in the fields, and the lack of truck drivers inside makes it difficult to quickly transport the harvest away, so that perishable goods worth several million end up in waste dumps. After all, the problems of employers can also bring benefits to young Britons. After the exodus of people from Spain, Poland and the Baltic states, restaurants, hotels and pubs suddenly pay up to 15% more and still lack personnel. I'll see you in my next video. Bis gleich.